Mario, and good morning Switch fans. Man, we've got an awesome show to kick off this Monday, and I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, but if you're dreading the week ahead a little bit, don't worry, I got you. We're about to take things to a whole nother level because Nintendo's got some really awesome surprises up their sleeve, and I am surprised. Plus, Warner Brothers is surprising us all with a surprise of their own, and it's of the Super Smash Bros. Variety, so we've got to discuss. Plus, one of the best Switch port studios says the Switch is strong enough, and that's an interesting conversation that I want to fill you in on. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hope you're all doing amazing. Smash that like button if you enjoy these videos, and let me know your take in the comments down below. Now I'm going to tell you about some freaking cool games today, and if you need some space to save them or download them, the Lexar Play Card is the way to go. You know my friends over at Lexar, fantastic people, fantastic product, and so much variety. These memory cards go all the way up to 1 terabyte, which is going to keep your games and saves stored for years, like literally years. You'll be golden, maybe even for the entire Switch life cycle. So make sure to click the link in the description down below to check out their Prime memory cards. They are absolutely premium, the fastest, the most secure. I love them so much, and it does help out the channel every time you click, so I'd love for you to check it out. Now, I didn't think I'd be checking out Guardians of the Galaxy dropping this week on Nintendo Switch, but apparently it's really good. Reviews popped, and that thing has an 81 on Metacritic, saying that the game captures the style, charm, humor, and emotionality of the movies. Yep, it's different actors and even different character models, but people are loving on Guardians. Now, nobody's reviewed the Switch version, because remember, it's currently flying up around there in the cloud. I can almost see it, but it should be out very soon, and hopefully, as long as it runs okay and looks okay, it's another awesome third-party edition. And quite a surprise, because they're saying that the story is touching, there's choices to make, and the gameplay is totally good and backs it up. That this is a really fun way to play a Marvel movie and enjoy the Guardians with the awesome soundtrack and all the vibrant colors and crazy worlds, and something that we didn't really see coming from Square Enix. I have to say, when I first saw this, I was worried it would be super generic, but surprise, it's actually really cool and a nice way to start our week with a game that's better than it looked to be and seems like it should be a fun time on Switch. I'll keep you posted on how that cloud version runs, but you might want to add this one to your list as something to play this holiday season. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy and if you're interested in picking this one up, especially now that you know it reviewed so darn strongly. Speaking of strength, everybody's always talking about how Nintendo Switch needs more power, right? The Switch Pro, the Switch 2, the next Switch, the next Switch, the next Switch, but hey, Saber Interactive says, we disagree. This studio has done some miracle ports on Nintendo Switch, including the Witcher 3 port that was universally praised. They did the Crysis Remastered ports, which looked amazing, and they're now about to do World War Z. Well, lead designer for Switch World War Z, Dmitry Grigorenko, says that the Switch, he doesn't think it needs more power. He said, I don't think the Switch needs a more powerful version that badly. Saber and other talented studios have already proven that no port is impossible. And so far, that seems true. He goes on to deliver some interesting information, basically saying that some things that look super complicated from the outside actually become easy to implement during the development process. And he says that every game Saber has ported has pushed the Switch hardware, and he feels like their next one will push it even further. Which is just a really interesting take, because you constantly hear about the lack on Switch, right? What it's missing, what it could have. And here comes one of the best port studios, putting some of the most impressive third-party games on the platform, saying, you know what? We just gotta have our tools sharpened. We just gotta have our brains at the ready. We can figure this out and we can make it work. And he touts how they have found a great balance between delivering amazing gameplay and keeping the games looking great. And they have. I'm excited to see World War Z on the system and what they do next. There's now a couple of teams that are just downright killers when it comes to that Switch hardware. And while the allure of a more powerful Switch will always be out there and eventually Nintendo will need to upgrade, right now, you can feel good that your games are in good hands, especially over at Saber. Let me know your take on this one. If you agree with Dmitry that the Switch doesn't need more power, it just needs to take advantage of what it has and provide the best mix between gameplay and graphics that it can. Speaking of great mixes, I am downright smitten and have a new, most anticipated upcoming Switch game. That game is Shin Megami Tensei V. SMT V previews dropped today, and people are pretty darn impressed across the board. This game is shaping up to be super awesome. They were only allowed to talk about the first hour, but it really sounds like it nails its own beautiful mix of story and gameplay, providing the difficulty that this franchise is known for, but also delivering such a mysterious and uneasy, very evocative feeling opening where Tokyo is destroyed in the first 10 minutes and you have to try and piece together what's going on. It's a very interesting launch because SMT V was one of the first Switch games ever announced way back at the launch event years ago, and now it's finally right around the corner. The graphics look really good, that blue flowing hair looking fantastic, and I love that the game has a heavy emphasis on exploration. They say that the traversal in the game is really strong and that you can dash freely as much as you want, you're quick on your feet, and you can even platform throughout the world, searching for secrets and hunting down extra insight. Now it does retain its very traditional battle system, the press turn system, where you are trying to establish advantages and watch out for weaknesses and amassing your team of demons. So it is retaining like the original series structure, but it does seem to be taking advantage of the new era and delivering a more modern experience that fits the Switch very well. And man, I'm a sucker for tantalizing storylines and not so slow movement. Like, you do me dirty if my character walks like this across a giant RPG. It's gonna take me 60 hours, but because I can flow and they say the movement feels fast and fun, I'm really eager. Amassing the demon army is gonna be pretty cool. The battles look stylized, and while they say it doesn't push things as far as, say, Persona 5 in that direction, it definitely delivers a very unique vision of a very interesting and fractured world. Plus, I'll be honest, I like the difficulty thing. Like, it's cool that the game starts off requiring a little bit of cerebral power instead of coasting you through the opening hours. I am very excited to get my hands on this one. The previews look fantastic, or at least sound fantastic. They weren't allowed to show much new footage. They're trying to keep this one sacred and safe and under wraps, but I think SMT V might be one of the surprise hits. Is it much of a surprise? People have been waiting for this game for years now, but it'll be a surprise to me. A game that I did not expect to like or love, and it might end up being one of my favorites of the year based on what I've just got done reading. Let me know if you are pumped for SMT V or if the new coverage has you excited. Does a game with a very spooky, uneasy, mysterious storyline, a destroyed Tokyo, getting all of these friend demons to help you fight, and then taking it to some big bad bosses, all while running around with flowing blue hair. If that sounds like your cup of tea, this game is out in just a couple of weeks. But if it's not your cup of tea, well, I've got one for you right here. Teizo Passion, it's delicious. And I also have another game to tell you about, very different from SMT V. And this one is the big Switch rumor leak of the day. Because it sounds like while Sakurai takes a little bit of a siesta, Warner Brothers may be getting in to fill the void. Apparently they are hard at work on a Super Smash Bros. Style game of their own, this time bridging together franchises from all over the Warner Bros. Universe. The initial character roster is downright crazy and something out of your 6-year-old backyard where you play fought with your friends and got to pretend to be different characters. They're saying this game has Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry, Johnny Bravo, Mad Max, and Batman. I've even seen some rumors of Harry Potter characters getting in the mix, which is downright bananas. They even say Fred Flintstone is involved, and I'm just thinking about Fred versus Gandalf. All right, Tom and Jerry taking on Batman. Apparently it's a tag team fighter where you'll be picking multiple faces, and this sounds freaking awesome. Now, the original rumor was that this is, hear me out, NetherRealm Studios' next game. So the makers of Mortal Kombat and Injustice working on this Warner Brothers fight for the ages sounds freaking incredible, especially considering how well they ported Mortal Kombat 11 over to Switch. Now, they didn't bring us Injustice, which is a bummer, but I definitely think they'd bring us this game, especially considering how many of their titles Warner Brothers does put out on Nintendo Switch, and given the fact that Smash Bros. Is going to be taking a long hiatus, well, now you have an opening for a Smash Bros. Style game with a lot of fan-favorite franchises and fan-favorite characters to go on the platform that dominates with the diverse fighters. Industry insider and soothsayer Jeff Grubb followed up on this, saying that yes, the game is real, but he's heard it's not made by NetherRealm. I guess he thinks NetherRealm will stick with what they know, but whoever's developing this, it sounds very, very appealing. And I want to know, through all the Warner Brothers IP, you know, Batman and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and all the classics, who would you love to see duke it out? What character would you rush to select in this Warner Brothers fighting game once it one day makes its way to our homes? Let me know in the comments down below, because for me, I'm picking Elroy Jetson. All right, we've made it to our community poll, which I post every evening on the community tab. If you're not following along, make sure to subscribe and check them out so your voice can be heard. Today I asked y'all, what's your favorite old Nintendo console? And gave you their first systems. The big winner was GameCube with 34% of the vote. Now, GameCube had some great games, but I wonder if our ages kind of factor into this as well, because NES was lowest on the totem pole, the oldest system, 4%. That bad boy came out right around when my ancient body was born, but I actually picked SNES. The Super Nintendo is my personal OG favorite. I love the controller, I love the system, I love the color scheme, and I love the games. Link to the Past, Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, Uniracers, Donkey Kong Country. It's just littered with classics, even games like Super Metroid. But SNES was beaten out by N64 with 21% of the vote, and Game Boy/Game Boy Advance with 27% of the vote. So a really interesting poll today, and can't wait to see y'all's answers for tomorrow's. But now it's time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure to hit that like button on your way out. I appreciate each and every one of you support so very much. And I hope you're all staying safe, staying healthy, staying happy, staying positive out there. Until next time, everybody, SwitchForce out.